Although Ashton and Mila are talking about moving to Europe because they're done with Hollywood. Ashton has enough investments, he doesn't have to act ever again. They're just sick of Hollywood in general. But you would think, with all that star power living in Hidden Valley, they would take their security very seriously. But guess what? They don't. This is their fence right here on the right. It's fallen down, it's rickety, it's disreputable. And it's been that way as long as I've been in LA. And that's all that stands between you and celebrity backyards. You could kick your way through that. And also, if you look down the front driveway here for a toll booth looking structure with a bored looking man inside, he's their crack security staff. He's protecting Katy Perry. And Tyler Perry's community, they take Beverly Ridge Estates, they take their security a little more seriously. That guardhouse you could rent out as a one-bedroom in West Hollywood. Those guys are armed, they have dogs, they have those wrought iron gates, they have these stone walls, possibly landmines, I don't know. They're not messing around though. Steven Spielberg's got a place up there too, I'm told. I want to get a full list of everyone who lives in these places. And here we go. Now, if you remember when we were passing that AstroTurf house that was hanging off a hillside, I said I wanted to show you 3 houses that made that place look more reasonable.
On the side.
Well, in a minute I'm going to ask you to look up the hillside for 3 houses right next to each other on stilts in earthquake country with less than 20% of the houses actually touching ground. Keep in mind that we're waiting for the big earthquake, and now some scientists are saying it's going to be a 10.0. Start looking up to the left. Can you see these houses?
Yeah.
Those are future mobile homes. Multi-million-dollar toboggans. And while those people are crazy, the guy right there on street level, he built that house 5 years ago. Right underneath them. I'm all for the power of positive thinking, but at some point you reach a level of optimism where it's almost a disability. Like, that guy passed it a long time ago. Now, we're in an area of LA called Carrollwood. It's right on the edge of Beverly Hills. When we are in Beverly Hills, all of these telephone lines and power lines will disappear because they will be underground for aesthetic reasons. And all the residential streets will be lined uniformly by the same kind of tree. And with each new neighborhood in Beverly Hills, a different kind of tree lining the streets. Because if you buy a mansion in Beverly Hills, you want to feel like your neighborhood is unique. Just like you. But first, we're going to go down Heather Road. Because on Heather Road are 2 of the biggest stars in the history of music. The first one is a guy who's probably the most successful living songwriter of the 20th century. He's a billionaire, and he's got an estate with 4 gates on it. Each gate is labeled, and each one has a specific purpose. And we'll see that in a moment, but first I have to make a left-hand turn in a city of no left-hand turns. You guys freezing yet? Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I do have a zip-up hoodie if somebody's like really dying. let me know. Okay, this first gate on the right is the service entrance for people who work on the estate. See, it says service. And then there's a sign with a cute little doggy on it that says, I make it to the fence in 2.8 seconds. Can you? Oh, that's adorable. It's a warning, but it's also humorous. I like that. You got it, man?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. The next gate goes to the guest mansion and recording building. They're two separate buildings. And the guest mansion is, I'm told, is where Beatle George Harrison spent a large part of the last part of his life because he was getting treated at Cedars-Sinai for a while. And he said to his friend, I don't want to die in a hospital. His friend said, that's okay, you can live in my guest mansion. And that's it right there. And the next gate...
Number?
What? Next gate, if you're a billionaire songwriter, you have some sleepless nights and you get a little wild on Amazon, and that's where all the deliveries go. And I saw Ricky Gervais drive into that gate in a rental Bentley. He was wearing an undershirt and smoking a cigar in a rental Bentley. I just love that. That was like 3 weeks ago. And this gate is the driveway of the guy who owns this estate. He's a knight of the British realm, Sir Paul McCartney. It's Paul's place. And
Just a little house.
it's just a little driveway. Yeah, I've never even seen the house. I've seen the top of it. You can see it from Coldwater Canyon Road, but that's about it. Across the street, this fortress was built by a gal who's probably the second most successful female artist in music today. Second, third, I'm not going to quibble. I'll say second to make it sound more impressive. If we have time, I'll show you the number one's house. Alright. And I'm turning around up here. And that house right there belongs to Lionel Richie's daughter, Sophia. She's a model and influencer and an adorable, nice lady with a really adorable little girl who was born in May, I believe. And just precious. I had a tour about this late one couple weeks ago, and Sophia and her husband and their little girl were both all out there, and I waited for them to go inside before I turned around. And people are like, "Ooh, who's that? Who's that?" And because I didn't want them taking photos of the little girl, I said, "Oh, it's nobody." Listen, it's cool to take photos of celebrities, but their children, I just think, are off limits. But ooh, what's up there? A new Bronco. And now this lady, this is her main house. She owns multiple properties, but she takes her security seriously, and that's the main home of Riri. That's Rihanna's house. Yeah, and she was building this house years ago, or a couple years back, but she was living here. It was a temporary home until her fortress got built. And then a while back, she sold this house once she moved into her new place. She sold this house for $13.7, I'm told. It goes way, way back. It's a legit mansion. I know, like, from that angle, it doesn't look that big, but yeah. But she built that place across the street from Paul McCartney because she discovered this little road from working with him on something in his recording studio at the guest gate.